Let's bring in Joe diGenova, former U.S. Attorney for the Washington, D.C. District, coming to us from Maryland. All right, let's take the Russian working for Russia. Did you know that the President of the United States was working for Russia, Joe? Did you know?
No, I did not, and neither did anybody else because he didn't. What's fascinating about this bill, this is a pretextual story designed to make the people in the Bureau look like they were honestly worried about it, when in fact they weren't, to cover up a pretextual original investigation of Trump and Carter Page. You have to remember that they illegally obtained FISA warrants by lying to the FISA court. They had to figure out a way to clean that up. And after Rosenstein recommended that Comey be fired, and after the president fired Comey, there was a huge blowup inside the FBI. They got furious with Rosenstein. And in a meeting at the FBI headquarters, Rosenstein promised them that he would salve their feelings by appointing a special counsel, and that it would be Mueller. And that made them all feel good. And that's exactly what he did. And he appointed him, interestingly enough, not to investigate a crime, but to conduct a counterintelligence investigation, which has never, ever been done before. And it is illegal under the departmental regulations for appointing a special counsel. So all in all, this is a fake story designed to let down people who think that Mueller is going to find something. Because in the 9th paragraph of that story that you started reading, they said no evidence was ever developed to substantiate
and Mueller dropped
the allegation.
it like 3 hours after he heard about it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
When you read a story like this, being sophisticated in the ways of Washington criminal justice, I mean, you know, back and forth, you see 3 reporters, Goldman, Schmidt, Fandos. They don't even ask the people that would have to oversee a probe like that, right? Am I right there? There's a chain of command. It goes from Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General, head of the FBI, to the agents. The agents just don't come in and say, hey, we're going to investigate Trump, right?
Under no circumstances would such a counterintelligence investigation been undertaken without the approval of the FBI director, the Assistant Attorney General in charge of national security, a fellow named John. Of course, at that time, it wasn't John Carlin, but Rosenstein, and the person who was the acting Attorney General. He would have, and of course, we know who he appointed.
Well,
Mueller.
Sessions was there then. Sessions would have had.
Yes,
to
but he was recused.
But that doesn't matter.
Recused.
Recused means he's not an active part of the investigation, but he'd have to be informed about it. He'd have to know about it. They can't.
Could not be. You know, it's hard to tell because Jeff was such a derelict when it came to his responsibilities.
All right, but I'm saying that if you were a really on-it Attorney General, you got to know what your guys are doing. You can't be just, I didn't know they were doing that. You're not part of it, and you don't get reports, but you know what they're doing. So anyway, one more question about the New York Times, because this is important for people to understand that the media, the national media, all right, isn't interested in what happened with Russia. They're not. They're only interested in pinning it on Trump so they can get him out of office. And that's huge. That's an enormous story. So you're reading the article, and they don't do, the 3 reporters, all right, don't do even the basics that a Cub reporter would do to ask who, you know, and then you say, well, they didn't comment. Okay, but you asked them. But no. The headline is FBI opened inquiry into whether Trump was secretly working on behalf of Russia. And then here's what the subheadline, and it was so stupid that Robert Mueller shut it down in 30 minutes. That's what the subheadline should have been. But no, they blow it up so everybody can say bombshell, you know?
Yeah, it's a fake story in every sense of the word. It was designed to let people know that the original basis for any investigation of Trump had no basis.
It was done to cover up the bogus FISA warrant stuff, which is a crime. And I hope we get to the bottom of it someday. Now, let's go over to John Carl. When you heard Carl bring down expectations about Mueller, what went through your mind?
I had heard the week before last that Mueller will end his probe with an interim report the 3rd week in February or thereabouts. What Jonathan Carl said was in fact corroborated by what I already knew.
All right, so third week,
And
but Carl is basically telling the ABC News audience, don't think that there's going to be something here that hangs the president, because
Correct.
it's not.
Correct. Absolutely correct. This is going to be a complete vindication of the president.
Wow. If that's true, but you see, that'll never be admitted to. There'll be something in the Mueller report that the press takes and gives, and then works with the House Judiciary Committee to get impeachment. You know what the game is.
Yes,
you know
it
what
is.
It is.
Yes. They're going to do whatever they can to dirty up the president, whether they impeach him or not. I've always said, if the Democrats impeach the president, they will lose the House and he will be reelected. And I hope they do it.
All right, Joe. We always appreciate your point of view. Thank you very much.